Okay, so today we're going to learn how to graph inequalities. Just a quick little question. Okay, let me share my screen. Got a piece of graph paper, systems of inequalities. So this is extra fancy. All right, so here we go. So our first equation. So we have a nice set of axes already ready. So x plus y is less than 1. And over here, x minus y is greater than -5. Okay, so first of all, depending on how you learned it, a lot of students, I don't want to say most students, they learn how to solve the equation for y, put it in y equals mx plus b form. So let's do that together. So we're going to subtract x from both sides. So y is less than -x plus 1. Okay, this is our first equation. And our second equation, now again, you can add the y to the other side. I'm not going to do that because I actually want to review something with you. So if you don't, whoops, -5, excuse me. Okay, so here there's a spooky, remember the spooky 1 right in front of the y here. Divide by -1. Divide by -1. So y is less than x plus 5. So when you divide or multiply an inequality by a negative, you reverse the order of the inequality sign. And again, over here, if you take a look, I divided each piece by the negative. So my -x divided by -1 became x. -5 divided by -1 became +5. Okay, so here we go. These both had, they were not less than or equal to or greater than equal to, or at most at least, right? Do we know that, little reminder here, if you see less than or equal to, right, that's at most, and if you see greater than or equal to, that's at least in word problems. Okay, here we're just graphing. We have to remember a couple things. So when we take a look at the first equation on the left-hand side, this one right here. Okay, so we're going to start at the y-intercept. The y-intercept is 1, y equals mx plus b. So we start at 1, that's where we start, right? Start. Okay, and our slope is our spooky little -1 in front of the x. Now, if you want to, you can put -1 over 1, if that helps you, but it's a negative slope. So you're going to go down 1 to the right one, down 1 to the right one, down 1 to the right one. And I would typically use my shape to make my nice straight line, except I know here that because it is less than, I don't have a solid line, I have a dotted line. So I am just going to free form this one here. Okay. Dotted line. Okay. I didn't get much sleep last night, so excuse that. I'm not sure why. I do know why. I had a snack accident before I went to bed of chocolate chips. And I think it just threw off my whole sleeping thing. So TMI, too much information, but so that's why usually my lines are much straighter, a little bit of perfectionist that way, but all good. Now, less than, when you have a negative slope, means you shade underneath the line. You could also, if you don't know those rules, you can use a test point, like you could use the point 0, 0, right? Plug in 0, 0, and you see 0 plus 0 is less than 1. 0 is less than 1. Check. So you shade in the direction of the test point. Okay, so that was our first equation. And then let's just remember to be awesome and put x plus y is less than 1 on this inequality graph. Remember that dotted line is like a border. It's just like a fence. It's just none of the points on it are solutions of that inequality. or of the system when we actually graph the other one. Okay, so now the next one I'm going to graph in green. Okay, so our y-intercept is 5. So I started 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, my spooky slope is a 1, over 1. Okay, so from the 5, I am going to go, let me go to green. I'm having way too much fun with the colors. Up 1 to the right one, up 1 to the right one, up 1 to the right one. And then again, I'm going to have to make a dotted line. Here we go. Let's see if my dotted line, okay, all right, looking good. My dotted line there. Okay, and it says less than, which means I shade below. I shade below. Okay, so in this case, and let's actually label that line just so we know which one's which. I know it looks a little bit of a mess, but these tend to look a little messy. Okay, so the solution set is this area right here. I'm going to put a big S right there. Okay, that's the solution set. Okay, that is where, so you can pick any point in there and it'll solve both systems of inequalities. So again, I can outline that area if I want to, right? Okay, again, don't do that really on your paper. I'm just doing that for visual effect because you don't want to make those lines solid. I'm just kind of showing you where the solution set is. So I hope that helped with solving inequalities. And any other questions, just feel free to reach out or drop a note. Bye.